TGR. What's up, guys? It's Rudy! Now, before we actually start talking about Luigi's Mansion 3, I do want to go ahead and point something out. Over the last 28 days, over 90%, well, almost 90% of the people that have watched our YouTube videos haven't been subscribed. Guys, do us a favor. If you're watching this and you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, and give us a thumbs up. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and we would really appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and start talking about Luigi's Mansion 3. So this video in and of itself is going to be a little bit different than most of our other videos. I'm going to go ahead and cover the basics in regards to what we normally do. So we're going to cover the story, the gameplay, the audio, and the visuals in Luigi's Mansion 3, but in my first 10 hours of playing it. So it's still impressions, it's not our actual review. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the story in Luigi's Mansion 3 is completely and totally typical of Nintendo. It's very basic. To make a long story short, Luigi and company, they go ahead and they are invited into a hotel. They go to this hotel, and check in. Luigi passes out while reading a book, very quickly, mind you, and wakes up to find that everything is dark and completely different in contrast to how it was before he went to sleep, and that all his friends are missing. So he goes ahead and walks out, and then all of a sudden the curator of the hotel says, "Hey, I have freed King Boo," and here he is. And King Boo is like, "Hey, I have everyone, they're all here, and I have a special frame for you." So Luigi goes ahead and starts running away, and he escapes in the nick of time, finds the Poltergust G00, or the Poltergust goo, however you want to go ahead and call it, and proceeds to hunt ghosts and save all of his friends. As you go ahead and progress through the game, different floors in the hotel unlock as you get more buttons from some of the bosses and the areas in the game. And from there, you save everyone, or at least that's my assumption. I haven't finished it yet, but that's the gist of it. And if this is something that isn't too deep for you, well, that's just because this is a typical Nintendo game. And I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay playing a game like this that pretty much goes ahead and gives you some sort of end game or an end goal without going too deep into story. Now, let's talk about gameplay. I have played Luigi's Mansion 1 when it first came out in 2001. I recently got Dark Moon. My 3DS was broken, and I ended up getting a 2DS XL. And now Luigi's Mansion 3 is here, and it feels like it's a natural evolution of the Luigi's Mansion mechanics. I feel like it goes ahead and builds upon the foundation from the previous two titles. One thing that I do have to go ahead and say is that the throwing mechanic, where you go ahead and you get a ghost in the suction of the vacuum cleaner, eventually you can hit A and you can toss them around and you can hit multiple ghosts with the said ghost. It feels overpowering because if you are, let's say, going against maybe three to five ghosts, you can go ahead and pretty much take care of them in an instant. You don't have too much of a challenge. The only time that I actually utilize that for crowd management is whenever I was playing Scarescraper, which is their multiplayer local or online game, or when I was in an area where there were multiple ghosts. I'm talking 10 to 15. Aside from that, if it was just me by myself, I could overpower anything very quickly with that move. The other thing is that it kind of took a little bit of the challenge out, because once you started that rinse and repeat cycle of taking a ghost, capturing it, throwing it around, and then getting whatever ghost was on the floor and continuing over and over and over again, it just felt like almost boring. The cycle was a little bit boring from what I've played so far. I don't know if that changes in the future, if there are other things that happen in regards to mechanics. I have unlocked a couple of extra things, but nothing that has signified that might change. Now, if you are playing co-op and you're playing with GUIG and both of you are doing that, you can just pretty much waltz right through each and every single level in the game, aside from the boss battles where you kind of have a little bit more of a puzzling aspect to it. Now, that being said, let's talk about GUIG. So GUIG, to me, feels like a natural component in this world. There are certain areas and there are certain things that Guigi can do that Luigi cannot, and vice versa. No matter where Luigi goes, Guigi follows. Guigi can't leave a room without Luigi leaving said room as well. Actually, he can't even open doors. He can't go through ladders. Like, he can't do anything. All he can really do is go through drains. And I'm speaking about Guigi. Guigi can only go through drains. Guigi can only go through bars, spikes, pipes, things like that. But he can't open doors and he can't climb ladders because ladders are bars, and he'll just walk through it. Luigi, on the other hand, is a solid character, so he can't go through pipes or anything like that. But it does add a little bit more in the puzzling aspect and the discovering aspect, because there are certain moments where you need Guigi in order to get a jewel for a level, or you need Guigi to defeat a boss. So there are definitely moments where you would rather go with Guigi, or you can't progress without Guigi. I haven't experienced any sections where it's where Luigi disappears or anything like that. I know in Super Mario Odyssey there were certain moments where a vulture would come in and take Cappy away from you. So that's kind of typical Nintendo of, hey, here's an ability, we're gonna go ahead and take it away until you figure out how to get it back, and then we'll give it back to you. So we haven't ran into that in regards to playing Luigi's Mansion 3 yet, but it still feels like a solid game, and Guigi feels like a perfect addition to that. So let's talk about the audio. The music is astoundingly well done. It is so good. Each and every single level that you progress through the game has a unique theme, and the soundtrack that is paired with that unique theme just fits beautifully. For example, there is a medieval level where you go in and it's kind of like medieval times. I don't know if you've ever been to it, but it's kind of like a sit-down dinner and there's a show and things like that. And the level is kind of laid out like that. But as you progress, it starts off with a very old school, scratchy record play version of the soundtrack. And then as you play through the level, it changes, and it emphasizes the music and the instruments in the soundtrack as you go further. And it just gets better and better and better. And the game plays that way. The music progresses that well as you continue to go higher up in the hotel. The audio cues that are there from getting items, from catching ghosts, the gold that's there, all of that stuff is very natural, and it sounds like a better polished rendition of what came before in Dark Moon and Luigi's Mansion 1, and I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. Polish it up, bring it back, hit the nostalgia button while still recreating some of those memories. In regards to visuals are by far one of the best things in this game. If you were one of the 10%, I'm talking to you 90% that aren't subscribed, if you were one of the 10% that were subscribed and got the notification on Halloween that I was streaming, you would have seen firsthand how impressed I was with the visuals in this game. It is by far one of the most polished first-party Nintendo games that I've played to date. And I don't know if that's just because of the layout of the game, the schematics of the levels, whatever it may be. It just looks really well and is very, very well optimized. I haven't experienced any issues in regards to lag. Some loading times in between floors are kind of meh, but I'm okay with that if that means that everything is going to run smoothly. Now, that being said, the lighting in this game is amazingly well done. I know that there was some skepticism when the initial trailer came out way back then during the Nintendo Direct, but they nailed the lighting. The lighting in this game is extremely well done. It fits the aura of everything, and as you progress through the game, there are certain areas that light up and things like that, and then, of course, there's thunder and lightning and so on and so forth, but it is just really well done, and I've got to applaud Nintendo for that, because it's very, very well done. Now, I have to say, this is normally, we would go ahead and say whether we would recommend it or whether we wouldn't recommend it, or to just wait and things like that. I highly recommend this video game. It is extremely well done. If you're a fan of Luigi's Mansion and just like to adventure from one point to the other, I highly recommend it. It's very easy to lose a lot of time and lose track of time while you're playing this game. So I recommend it to anybody that's even remotely interested in it. I don't know if they're going to have any Black Friday sales as of right now. It's the 6th of November of this recording, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I kind of doubt it since it's a brand new game. So what do you guys think? Did you guys go ahead and buy this game the day that it came out? Are you still kind of on the fence? Let us know in the comments below. I'm there to answer any questions if you have any about this game. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Please just subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. That way you get notified whenever we post new things. And if you haven't joined, join our Discord. That's kind of where I went ahead and shared my thoughts initially about this game. But without further ado, guys, I will see you on the next one. Deuces.
Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more and stay up to date, subscribe, hit the little bell, and join our Discord.
If you want to support the channel, please check out our Patreon or hit the join button below. As always, thanks for your support and thanks for watching.